So firstly, just in case there's anyone watching this later, because we know Dee is the only person online, please introduce yourselves. Or you can just like go in a circle.
Good morning, I'm Nicole McDougall, Executive Director for Project Feeding Ground and also co-chair for this Homegrown Hillsborough Food Production Group.
I am Georgia Snyder. I'm the director at the Sustainable Living Project. I am a member at large for the food production group.
Sorry.
My name is Liz Tara Fiol. I'm a part-time volunteer with Sweetwater Organic Community Farm, a member at large for the food production group for Homegrown Hillsborough.
Awesome. Either of you online want to introduce yourselves, please?
I am Dee Morales. I am one of the co-chairs for this Homegrown Hillsborough Food Production Project, as well as the steward for 813 Hood Garden Space.
Thank you. Buddy, can you hear us?
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
Just a quick introduction. So my name is Kenny Gill. I am agri-science teacher at Middleton High School. We run a like quarter acre to half acre organic farm with poultry and yada yada yada, growing fresh vegetables and things.
Awesome, thank you. And I'm Susan Bennett, work for Homegrown Hillsborough, and I'm facilitating these working group meetings. And I'm off camera because I'm over to the side. All right, so I know that Sarah is your secretary. Who have you guys identified as your treasurer?
Me, Georgia.
Where's my computer wants to autocorrect your name?
Always, I'm so sorry.
It's
okay. Also, if you spell it wrong, I'm not offended. I understand the frustration.
Oh, good. Okay. So next idea. I understand also like my name gets spelled a million different ways too. For old business, could our co-chairs please give a recap of the leadership retreat? I know it was a while ago.
Yeah, so this happened, our leadership retreat happened over the course of 2 days. It was a combination of all of the working groups and the co-chairs, as well as members at large. And we had the opportunity to learn from some community partners around leadership, strategy, collective impact, and also work together in different workshops on how to amplify that collective impact across the community. We discussed different goals across each working group, as well as the best ways to work together, what our focus areas could potentially be. And we just did a lot of exploratory working sessions with one another to get to know one another, and really just like a lot of community building within just the Homegrown Hillsborough leadership group. So I'm excited to kind of put all of that to work.
Anything you'd like to add, Dee?
No, she actually got it. I was going to say the community building part, my favorite part of the entire retreat, getting to know everyone that's going to be a part of this entire project.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so what we're going to do is create a definition for your working group, which can be like up to like 3 sentences. The other 2 kind of did like 1 or 2 sentences. And what that means is basically like if someone comes up to you and is like, hey, what's the food production working group? You can say in like 1 sentence and not be like, well, our goals are this, this, this. And like you can make like a quick thing. So with that in mind, I don't know if anyone has their binder. I have one over there. We have take a look at the mission, vision, values of Homegrown Hillsborough. Yay! Okay, so there's a key information sheet in there that says basically the Homegrown Hillsborough mission, vision, values. So you want to consider that that is already being told, I guess, through that being the working group that you're underneath. So like you don't need to say is it restart there? What did you say, Penny?
Yeah, you guys are back now. We can see you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't miss much. We're just trying to find the Homegrown Hillsborough like mission vision statement so that we don't recreate that same statement for, you know, food production. We're essentially like, you know, drilling down into what our group is, you know, representing.
Oh, it's oh.
Oh,
Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I don't know if everyone knows all the titles of all the pages because I made them. So
yeah, we all put them together in our binders differently.
Yeah, key information of food system, the values, stewardship, community well-being, choice, education, and accessibility. The vision, integrated food system that is diverse, reliable, and creates opportunity for active participation. And so those things are what is essentially the context of it. We don't have to include those specific things. So how would we further define our working group?
All right. So I'm gonna start like a 20-minute timer just to keep us moving. So,
Okay.
some people took more, some took less. So
Well, I think maybe we can, so one of the things that we did while we were in the orientation together, just as a group, is we explored our goals and what we decided our focus would be. And so maybe we can talk about that and then create a mission vision statement out of, you know, that kind of is an umbrella to what our goals are. If you all want to do that. So what we had decided as a group, or not decided, but just like was in conversation about, was to improve our goals overall, is to improve the experience, improve the food production experience for both the producer and the consumer. And then within those, we identified within both producer and consumer, we identified different areas of that experience and where we might potentially be able to make a dent in those. So for producers, it was policy, marketing,
Infrastructure, labor pool, funding, and distribution.
yeah. And then on the consumer side, education, affordability,
Convenience.
convenient.
Oh, I think convenience. We broke down the access into like convenience, affordability, and awareness.
Yeah, so maybe like we can, with the context of what our mission vision statement is, maybe we can, you know, kind of combine some of those into some overarching statement or mission.
I think really looking at that key sentence right here, improves the food production experience for producers and consumers. I mean, that's pretty.
I think that says it all, Georgia. I agree. I think that says it
Right. I think this sentence says it all.
I do too.
And it's really concise and it's really straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we wanted to expand it further for something like a maybe like the vision statement, or you know, like
in a way that
something
like,
after, but for that tagline sort of thing that Savannah was saying, I do think like, oh, what does your working group do? We're working to improve the food production experience for producers and consumers. And then what does that mean? Okay, so we're doing it through it, and it might be good to like.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
So remember, we have another working group that is food access, and I think that deals more with the consumer side. When I think food production, I don't necessarily, and I know that's sort of what we were talking about before, but like after thinking about it for a while, I think the food production group should focus more on like encouraging people to produce their own food and helping producers to more effectively produce food. I don't know how you flesh that out into like a more concise statement, but that's just my feedback on the vision and mission for this group.
Can you repeat? You said you're encouraging people to produce their own food, and then what was the second part?
And to make to assist produce, or to make to help producers more effectively or efficiently produce food?
So maybe the way that I like that too. Granted, I haven't sat in on the food access session. I don't know if it's even happened yet, but I do like, yeah, maybe we could see what theirs is, and then, but also, Kenny, I like that, and maybe we can tie into ours, like you said, improving the experience of the food, or improving whatever it was. Let me see.
Yeah, the food production experience.
Improving the food production experience in a way that
improving the food production experience for home gardeners and small and large. You don't want to isolate any group. So like,
well,
but
I wouldn't
commercial and home garden food production or something along those lines.
What about just growers, food growers? So that way, it includes whether the small gardener and large,
or food producers.
Yeah, so something like that.
So maybe we want to add, though. We want to, like you said, someone's gonna say what does that mean, and so we want to add the way that which we're doing that in that same single sentence in a concise way. For instance, like, and here's just an example. It doesn't have to be this, but if we're removing the consumer experience from this, I think there's still a way to tie the food production, the improvement of the food production experience into a way that connects them to consumers. And so I think that, hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that if we were to keep what we said first, removing the consumer part of it, we just say improving the food producer experience or whatever we're landing on in a way that effectively in a way that effectively
helps them
effectively or in a way that's advantageous or effectively connects.
So
I'm thinking the outcomes I'm thinking of are profitability, removing barriers, like from a food production experience, meaning like removing policy barriers, improving
to overcome challenges in food production faced by food producers, or I'm just speaking out loud. So the idea that you're sort of
I like that one too. So I have two things that I kind of wrote down. So again, making it maybe a little bit more casual, more colloquial, right? Like, so working to help food producers to improve their effectiveness and efficiency, or working to help food producers overcome challenges. Go.
I just want to make sure before we get too far into it that we maybe ensure that we're not leaving the ecological perspective out of the mission statement. So like making like, for example, I have one example of to advance equitable, ecologically sound food production practices that strengthen local resilience and ensure long-term food security.
I think that's really good. Can we make it now something that's more accessible to like everyday street talk?
Yeah, one of the things that actually, now that thank you for bringing that up.
But I think that's really good.
I'm working with USF on in their future food think tank, and in their novel models of agriculture working group. There's a really great mission statement in terms of like sustainable ecosystems, and so in terms of that, like in a regenerative that preserves the, I'm just thinking like that preserves. Let me pull it up because I think maybe we can.
Let's do you have that written somewhere I can pull up on my screen too, or
I can send it to you. I just haven't.
While we do want to encourage that, and it's something definitely to consider, remember that Homegrown Hillsborough also encompasses conventional agricultural operations as well. So leaving it a little more broad might be advantageous. I mean, went out.
I think that's valid, but that's also valid to maybe
help them
shift away from that, because obviously that has been it's not been advantageous. Yeah, for us as a collective, it's not been.
But I don't think we should box ourselves in either, and by eliminating that. So I think the enhancing the experience of the food producer, so that it's, I don't know, because we want to focus on educating the producer. How do we work on the policies and things like that? So just improving the experience of the producer and leaving it something like that, something nice and vague without going too in depth.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I agree too, but because barriers, if we say something about like improving that experience in an efficient and effective way by removing barriers across blah, 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 or across their experience, that could encompass, if we broadly say that
we can't guarantee that we're actually going to remove any barriers. So why commit to that in our mission statement?
I would just say maybe something like helping local producers overcome challenges in increasing or improving the experience of food production in Hillsborough County.
Sorry, say it. Can you repeat it for me again? I'm sorry.
Helping local producers to overcome challenges in food production.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think that in itself just sums it up. I don't think you even overcome challenges and improve the experience.
Period. That's it. Nothing else. No more words.
I think for that one sentence, that's pretty good. I think if the conversation continues, do we want to have?
Because then people can ask the question, well, what challenges are farmers facing and what challenges are you working to help them overcome?
Right.
Or can guide sort of like our conversation when we get into talking with local producers and say, what challenges are you facing? And how can we improve, or how can Homegrown Hillsborough improve your experience with producing food? So it really would help guide the conversation.
Can you repeat what you have down, Georgia?
Yeah, so what I have down is I have two of them. One that really matches what Kenny said. It's essentially working to help food producers overcome challenges. And then the other one is working to help food producers to improve their effectiveness and efficiency, or effectivity and efficiency. Those, I think, essentially say the same things. And I think that one sentence is really good for like what we were assigned. I think maybe taking some of this and having like a secondary
point.
Exactly. Because I think I think that sentence, I think Kenny is spot on, and like what he said, it answers the assignment. However, I don't think the conversation stops there, and we don't want to see them glaze over sort of just after that one sentence, right? So we want to still be able to like incorporate the things that Liz Tara says in her thing. I think that's almost more of like, if we reworded it, it's almost more of like a vision statement. So this is like what we want to get to.
Yeah.
And then the maybe just having those bullet points like, hey, like, oh, like what are those challenges? So we want to see.
That would be our mission. So our mission would be this right here.
Yeah,
and
this
then
first
our
one.
vision would be what we would like to see out of that.
Yeah, and I think I think you had a great way of doing it, like, because I was trying to figure that out. And I think instead of having like a secondary sentence or whatever, bullet points, right? So we know we can go, oh, like these 4 points
in these areas.
Yeah.
That might be so. I'm going to talk about a little bit later. Your priority areas.
Okay.
That might be what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I would leave the mission, or something like it's just calling it a definition. So you're working with definition and just keep it like 1-2 sentences.
So the only thing I would say is, can you read it again? I'm so sorry. I want to.
No, you're fine. It again. Working to help food producers overcome challenges within our food system.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, it is very vague, but it's also all encompassing. And like, let's say that that's all they want to know. You know what I mean? That would still give them all of the information.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of, I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to put on this hat of like the everyday, and I don't mean this in a negative way of like ignorance in a negative way, but just someone that's uneducated.
Mm-hmm.
Someone that has no idea about.
That's what I imagine, like I'm talking to my dad.
Yeah, like,
my dad's like, what are you doing? And I'm
same, my mom.
You know,
it's like, they mean like, what do you mean?
What
food
challenges?
producers or what challenges or whatever, so I'm thinking.
So that's where I think those bullet points and like that, what Savannah's talking about, and we can just put sort of almost like in the little brackets, like the key
almost
areas. Sorry, go ahead, Penny.
Leaving it more vague opens that conversation. It creates a door to then talk about it. Whereas if you give them a little bit too much information, people tend to shut down. But when you say challenges in agriculture, and then the people who just want the simple definition, they're going to walk away and go, okay, cool, that's what you guys are working on. The people who are more likely to be engaged are then going to ask the question, and that's when you can come in with more detail. But I don't necessarily see us needing a whole lot more.
I agree. I like that. I like it very like short and sweet.
It's also easy to rattle off. Look how challenging it was for us to remember all of these acronyms and things that we were given during the leadership retreat. If you put too much information, it makes it difficult to see your idea.
Yeah, I
also think we need to encourage, like, when we're thinking about talking to like just the average person, our goal really in those conversations is to invoke that curiosity and potentially that involvement, their interest in working together. And so I think if we take that perspective or have that lens on, and just being very like in simple terms helps that person see themselves in the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was going to say, in talking with people too, when you're initiating these conversations, a lot of times there may be prior conversation that, I was at the farmer's market and the prices were really high. And you say, well, we're working with producers to, help them overcome challenges such as, high fertilizer costs or something like that. So we're trying to build a cooperative so that they have buying power, or, give them examples that are tied to the conversation you're having with them, and then help educate. Or, people might not even understand how fertilizer costs are impacted by different things in local and regional and international supply chains and stuff like that. So
I like the singular sentence because it does kind of lead to that like ... right? Like, so that you can work it into whatever conversation you're having. And then if it's just a vague one, like with your parents or whoever, that's where you could have like those focus points. But this is really nice because it does, like Kenny said, it allows you to say, like, we're working on overcoming challenges. Like, how can we help them to lower their
that could be one of our priorities.
Or
we could use those as our priority areas.
But I think this is a good answer to that question of like the definition. And then if we want to break it down further, maybe we just give those different.
Yeah, we walked into this forever. Like, if you want to workshop it a little bit in another meeting, that's also fine.
Oh, we're not gonna carve it into any stones.
Yes. It's pretty big. I just went back and like looked at them both. I think this is like on par with it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to say one last time, I'll type it in to my notes.
Who can remember
Which one is the definition? What are you going with?
Working with food producers to overcome challenges around efficiency and effectiveness. Right?
Okay.
I think we're just working to help food producers overcome challenges.
Okay. Got it. Perfect.
Can we change, so your group is called food production. Can we not say like food producers? Exactly. So like you can say growers.
Yeah. Let's say growers. I mean, it's hard though, because growers doesn't encompass everything, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, and a lot of that word growers and a lot of cultures and also populations means marijuana growers. Like I don't.
It's hard to.
Also, there's things like beekeepers who you're not growing.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like the grow. I don't like that either.
So I think
I feel like I could argue it both directions.
Put it
I
in
feel like I
chat.
could say it has to encompass food production in order to make sense.
Put it in ChatGPT and figure out the different. See if
There's
there's
another way to say it, just because, so we had that with economic development, they wanted to say like, so we were kind of like, what does that mean? I think food producer is a little easier to understand than economic development. People don't always know what that means exactly. Food producers, I think, is maybe a little more straightforward.
Yeah.
Just in case you had something else, we could put it in there. So you're just saying to overcome challenges, period.
working with food.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I think like if there's a specific topic, I think we can all
No,
sort
like,
of break.
oh, like how? And we could say, oh, we've landed on these priority areas.
There's another question, like, so working with food producers to overcome challenges. I feel like it needs just like a little bit more.
Across
like
the,
how? Like
across
how? Are we
the,
supporting them? Or are we providing?
in a way that improves effectiveness and efficiency.
So producers overcome challenges to improve effectiveness and efficiency.
Improve their effectiveness and efficiency across the food system as a whole. That just seems too industrial.
Maybe remove the effectiveness, maybe efficiency, just kind of like,
Yeah.
and then maybe efficiency and connection to the network, and like maybe a more condensed version, word for that, like
to help them better meet local needs.
Oh, good one.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is why we're here. Yeah.
So working with food producers to overcome challenges to improve their efficiency to better meet local needs.
No.
Or say overcome challenges to better meet local needs.
So I don't like efficiency, the word efficiency, mainly because efficiency is what's gotten us in the overall food system in the position we're in now by cutting corners and sacrificing health, sacrificing our ecosystem.
That's if you remove the word ecologically or the phrase ecologically sound, or just like in right relationship with Earth. That's where the efficiency becomes now a bad word, because then you can cut.
Totally. That's, but to the average person, when they hear efficiency,
Yeah, sure.
we don't, I don't know, I don't want to associate that, because that just, to me, feels like we're just having them like pump out. So I like the what Kenny said, instead of efficiency or effectiveness, helping producers to overcome challenges to better meet local needs, and to just ruin or just remove those altogether.
That's what I've got. That sounds good to me.
That sounds great to me.
Working with food producers to overcome challenges to better meet local needs. Awesome. And our timer went off like a minute or two ago, so that's good. we can call it here. Like I said, we can always edit it if you need to like change it a little bit, or you can find a better word you want to use. That's totally fine. Okay, so now moving on to our next item. Everyone please log into the platform, the partner platform, which is our Homegrown Hillsborough, Mobilize, whatever you want to call it. I will share my screen.
I've been having trouble logging in because I just got a new computer, and I used login with LinkedIn, and now it's telling me you can't log in with LinkedIn.
Do you want to make a new account?
Sure, yeah, I'll just do that and not do.
You can't do it through your email?
No, because it's logging in with LinkedIn, so like it's connected to that, and so I can't put any email that is associated with the account. It's really weird. I don't know why I chose LinkedIn.
On the ladder. Keep down. Actually, here. I can do it.
Savannah, when I go to the group, it takes me automatic, like, because I'm using the Mobilize app. So when I go to that, it takes me automatically into like, I don't know, it just says group. It doesn't take me to like a page like this.
Like it just takes you to like the home page.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's the main page, the main
Okay.
Homegrown Hillsborough page on Mobilize. Sorry.
Yeah, so that's the main page. Dee, do you have like a personal account or do you only have the 813 account on here?
I should have a personal account
Just curious, though, like, I don't remember when we were going.
because what is her name? Shamala should be using the 813 account.
Gotcha.
Also me too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting. Priority areas of employment. Can you get onto Telegram from there?
Yeah, but
Oh,
I think I can.
yeah, you have to download Telegram. It's really easy though.
You have to download it
Yeah.
on your
No.
computer?
I can get it on the browser,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never done that. I guess maybe.
and
that
it's
makes sense.
way better than the
The app.
phone. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
totally.
I can't.
Oh, sorry.
So we do it. We just,
It's really sad.
so, like,
We were getting on the mobile app, right?
yes, yeah, get
Heard
around
that.
mobilize on.
It's like, and there's no sign up either. So like,
I think if you scroll down, there might be, yeah, down there.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I know, it's like, why would they put it down there?
Thank you.
So we're basically just gonna like go through a checklist of how to use the platform. Because the platform is going to be our tool for communication. If you guys want to share anything with each other, we kind of want it to be on here, other than like being like, hey, are you hopping on the meeting, or scheduling or whatever. And even that, you can actually use some of the features on the platform. But we just want it to be like the place, and we are going to hold you accountable for what is on your like page. So when we come to meetings, we'll say like part of the agenda will always kind of be, what was there anything on the platform that you guys saw and want to talk about? And like that's the place that we want you to have all of your information so that it is open for everyone to utilize it, and not just like your private group chat. So there are like, we'll go through everything. Once everyone's. Let me know, Sarah, when you get.
I made a new account now.
Okay.
I'm in.
So, yeah, so we did like a Telegram thing. Should we have done our group chat in the platform?
Yeah, I think that's what she was saying.
If you're doing like a group, so it depends on what you want to talk about, like what you can, so like if you want to use Telegram to like just, check in more personal, like not,
No,
but
it's
you're
not
saying like,
personal.
yeah, okay, so like, so if you're on here, so we have a group. So are you like in, or you're still, okay.
I'm still like, I have to fill out this form.
Okay, yeah, no, you're good. I just have to like review the member database thing. So. It has, like, Nicole has you as a pending person, but you're in already. So I don't know why.
What was that?
It shows you as like pending for the platform, but you're on it. And
Yeah, see, this is weird. It's like,
Then I just sent you a message on there.
oh, let me look. I need to find it. Oh, I see. Oh, awesome. Okay.
That support's pretty long. Just so I can go through the checklist.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I'll like turn it so you guys can see it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure like let you get on there first.
Just confirm now.
Okay.
Are we specifically in the food production working group right now?
Well, not yet, but yes, that is what
Or
we're.
is that where we're gonna be?
So first, you have a picture on there. I don't know, just because I can see your thing right here. Do you have a picture on yours? Can you put one up, please? We did add your headshots that we took during the thing. They're in the Google Drive. Yeah, it's like if you paid it.
Red mark
Oh,
behind
no.
it, and my hair is like.
Mine was also not good. So.
I was like, someone like dumped a bucket of water.
I have some
really?
things about the camera.
Okay.
Nice, but he gave no guidance on how to pose. My neck was all like.
We'll give him that feedback. But if you
Yes,
do
please.
want that, okay, here you go, our pen thing.
So when you said earlier about the badges,
Yes, so see when you, like, that
Right
little
there?
thing on you, yeah, and if you
but it
hover
doesn't
over-
say anything.
If you hover, I know, it's like, they're called like labels, not badges. So-
Yeah, I did see that.
So when you hover over together, it tells you like your thing. Okay, so let me approve you. Go ahead, approve.
You do this.
Yes, but it's nice to have a picture so that we know who you guys are and people recognize you if they see you. They'll be like, oh, that's the person from, you know, the thing. Okay, so now you're out of pending.
I just put a photo.
Perfect. Okay. Did it let you in?
Application's been sent and waiting approval.
Okay, I'm like, cause I thought that I think that I approved it. Oh, just kidding. I see your photo now. Oh, okay. Approve. Great. Okay, so you should be in. Okay. So like I said, the platform is, going to be where we're going to be like communicating with you. And like I said, you'll be accountable for what's on the platform. So we have this little checklist over here that will be linked in the like meeting. It's on the agenda, I'm pretty sure. So are you on the platform? Yes, you guys are on it. Awesome. Do you have it bookmarked for easy access?
Yeah.
It's better to bookmark it. We now have the short link platform.homegrownhillsborough.com, which is helpful. But if you don't, just bookmarking it like on your browser using the little like bookmark this tab.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I would say try to get in the habit of checking it once in a while. Okay, so do you have an upload a profile picture? Yes, you guys love pictures. Right? I was like, Georgia, you got yours?
I'm working
on it. Okay. Great. Okay, so do you know how to join a group? So here on the left, they have all these groups. The most important one for you to be in is the food production working group. I'm pretty sure you're all in it.
I just applied to it.
Okay,
Wait, let me see the group. What is it?
it's called food production working group.
Oh yeah, if it pops up underneath my thing, then it's right.
Okay, yeah, there you. Oh wait, this is probably your old one, Lister.
This one is my new one, because that's a new.
Oh, this is your new one?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So you're in. Yeah, so you should be in it. And this is where we want you to like do your posting. So like Nicole posted in here, this session. I also clicked on this link and it didn't work. So I'm glad you updated down here.
Oh, really?
I don't, yeah, it like showed that it was like not
Oh, weird.
like whatever. It said it wouldn't work. Anyway, you got that fixed. Okay, so we know how to join a group. If you want to join other groups, you're welcome to join any and all of the other groups. If you, it's under like suggested, you click view all, it'll show you what the other ones are. I'm in all of them except for this one because you have to apply to get in and it's, I don't know who's in charge of it. So like, if you want to see what the other working groups are doing, feel free to join their things. Everything is like open. So if there's anything, or even if you think that something's more relevant to someone else, you can share it on theirs. Sorry, I have my back to you over here. And okay, so that's how our groups work. And like I said, I've made nice little headers so you know when everybody meets. And these are where we want you to, so you're the secretary, so we want you to make the like event for this on Mobilize, and we're gonna talk about how to make events in a minute. But we want to make it in the working group. So not all the current ones, the first ones were on the main page so that everyone could like see it. But now we want it to be specifically just in this group. So only people who are in this group like they're the people who are interested in it. So they're the ones who are going to get the meeting invitation. Okay. So you know how to customize your notifications. So here in the settings, this is really important. So if you go to the main page and click on this little settings gear looking thing. Wait, maybe not that one, just kidding. No, go to hit your profile picture and say profile settings. So far right, you hit your picture and say settings, and then it'll tell you basically what you want to get emails for. So if you don't check this every day, I think it's easier to get emails because I check my email constantly. So I'll be like, oh, look, someone posted on the platform and they'll send me an email, or you can tell it to like send you a summary every day or a summary like once a week, some of them. And just whatever you think that you need. So like maybe you don't want a notification every time someone posts, but you want to know when someone tags you. So you can go through and customize these. So like, I don't want a community highlight every day, but if I'll get highlights specifically from whichever groups I want to check. So like I said, I have a check to send me an immediate email with content posted in the 3 working group pages. So it'll send me an email every time someone posts it in just the 3 working group pages. It's pretty customizable. So take a minute, customize your settings so that you can be active in the network the way that you want to be, or the way that it feels good for you to be. And the highlight emails are nice because it just kind of tells you like a little, and then you can click on them and say, oh, I missed this post. Let me go look at it. And it usually sends it. Some of them every day, but some of them are like, usually it's on Thursdays. I know on the main page, it just sends it on Thursdays. And like if someone mentions you want to get an email. But yeah. I think that's like who group managers are.
Okay.
Which I think we might have put the co-chairs on it if it let us. Either that or it's just me. Let me see if it shows me who the group managers. It does tell me what all notifications you guys have on.
It does.
Yeah. It actually shows like a lot of like background information for like I can see like when you visited each page and stuff like that. Yeah. It's good metrics.
Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. So don't lie. Don't tell me that you didn't when I know you did. You will be, because I very deeply study all of this.
I like looking at you.
No, I don't. But if something's suspicious, I'll look. So there is a lot. I don't know how to see where the managers are. This is one of those things where you click around and then I figure it out and then I have to relearn it again.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Real quick. Under the settings above notifications, I have this thing where it says integration Zoom. Zoom currently is not authorized to help you create meetings in your community. And then it has a button, authorize access to Zoom. Would that be my Zoom or is that a food production?
No, it would be like if you have like a personal Zoom account. So like right now on Zoom, we use the Wells because there's like, that's like the nonprofit thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
actually very expensive. If you haven't like had Zoom, like official work for Zoom.
Google Meet.
Yeah, exactly. So it like integrates it so that when you put it on your event, it'll like auto link to it and it'll auto open. But I just put the link in the thing instead of like logging into that because it's too many email addresses, I think. It would be useful.
Got it. Well, we
sometimes,
can put our own, like, if we make an event, for instance, like I have something I want to share and I make an event. I can put my own Google Meet in there. It doesn't have to be Zoom, right?
I don't know if it lets you in that specific line. But we will, so let's go to the checklist and we will get to events and we can talk about that. Okay. So is everyone good with their notifications? Feel good about customization? Okay. Yeah. Now, a fun thing that the platform does here on every like feed, it sorts it by latest activity. So if you want to sort it by new posts, that will show you something that's more recently posted. When it sorts it by activity, like if someone comments on it, it'll bump it up. So someone could have posted something like a month ago. And then if somebody comments on it, and that happens on the main page a lot, like people will just comment on stuff that's old and so it pops back up, which is fine. But if you are like looking and you're like, I've seen all these posts already, but it says that somebody posted, switch it to new posts and it'll put on the most recent thing. Although I think I can pin posts. So that'll force it at the top. And then at the top, we also have our like highlights. So I like customize these. Like some of them are auto populate, but
like one of the things that feels more like efficient or whatever is when like, or I'm just saying like when you log in and you can see like, for instance, the events that are going on across the group or even just the main page, like having those pinned or whatever.
So I usually try to pin things that are like coming up. So like Pesto Festo is this weekend, and if people don't post it, I can't do it. So, and then there's also another tab just straight up for events. So if you click on that tab, you can also click the little button and it'll pop it up calendar view like this way. So you can see things a little easier depending on how you like to look at stuff. Or if you're planning ahead or you're planning an event and you're like, oh, look, there's already 2 things happening on the 26th. So I'm not going to do my event on the 26th. There's different ways to view it. Yes, it is super handy. Yeah. Okay. So when we're in our group and you make a post, there are different like settings you can do on it. So there's a discussion, poll, event, opportunity. And I don't think you guys are able to make recommendations. Maybe I think you can on the main page, but not in this group for some reason. That might not be true. That was just one of the other groups. So you can? Okay. So it's like it might have just been specific setting on those ones. Yeah, so it shows it like right here.
Yeah. And then I clicked it since she asked, and I was like, no.
Yeah, lets you do it. Okay. It's like some of them, I guess maybe the other group doesn't let them. It's probably a setting that we had checked or not checked, and we have to go find it again. So it's important that you make the correct type of post when you're making a post. If you're doing an event and you do it as a discussion, it won't populate on people's calendars. So like if you can connect your calendar to this calendar where if you accept on the platform, it'll go onto your like Google Calendar or whatever you use. So it's important when you make an event to actually do it as an event and not just like a post. And then if you have like, you want to do a poll. So like if you're in here and you're like, okay, guys, like we can't meet in September for whatever reason, what's a better day? Or like the library rooms are all booked. Where else should we meet? You can do a poll and give people options like that, which is helpful. You can also, I don't know, whatever you guys want to vote on, you can use the poll. And then I'm not going to click the event because it's going to open it big. So I'm going to finish first. Opportunity. When you click on that one, it gives you different options like job, mentorship, program, fellowship, volunteer, internship. So this could be used for like, if there's a program that's out there that's like an online program or something that's ongoing, really. So when you do an event, if it's an event that is like open or it's like it's a recurring event, like every Saturday there's a work day at this garden. Don't put it as an event unless you do individual events because it will just block out the whole calendar. Like it'll be like, oh, it's from this date to this date, and the whole calendar will say like work day on every single day. So if it's recurring, put it as an opportunity, and then you can list it as like a program or a volunteer thing that way. And so this is good, for internships, jobs, like I said, fellowships, anything that is recurring, listed as an opportunity for people.
I'm not able to do an event from my phone. Is that normal?
That is true. Yes. Okay. It is a thing we have complained about to the Mobilize Forge people. And that's like the most common feedback I get is like, why can't you do it on my phone? I'm like, I wish I could.
I remember it's part of why I haven't posted a lot of events is that
they mostly use phone. Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever done it from my computer. So I remember being like, help people making events.
So it's a very
Like I was like, all I could do was make discussions, and I was like, oh, is this happening?
Yes. You have to go on the computer. I've asked more than once for them to change it. So it is a startup, so we're probably one of their hopefully best customers.
It's kind of like a random off question. Well, have you like looked at other? Well, obviously you have, but like Mighty Networks is one that's really robust and has been really good.
Like just another platform.
Yeah, like
I don't think we're gonna change it.
Yeah,
we have like a contract, and I don't think we're gonna migrate people over.
Yeah,
but
that
like
would be hard.
maybe someday that would be like a long term. Like if this disappeared, that would be good to know. But like I don't think we're gonna try to sign everyone up. Well, it is like I said, it's a startup, so like it could, if for whatever reason, disappear, which is why we didn't use a free version of something, because like there's another very similar one, we just didn't use it because it's free. So we were like, what if it goes away? We're paying for it, it's more like it stay, right? But that is good. If we need more, I'll be like, oh, at least Terry knows one.
You know what though, on that, Mighty Networks or Mighty Causes, I don't know if they're the same, if it's the same company, but Mighty Causes is a really popular fundraising platform that you might be able to, like, for instance, if we're as a working group, want to set up like a 24-hour give day or something to like, say we pick, I don't know, the Coalition of Community Gardens, right? That we would want to support that day. That's one that we could set that up and then link it to our thing. But I don't know if it's part of Mighty Causes or Mighty Network, if it's all the part of the same.
Yeah, like, I don't know if this one has that type of capability.
To like fundraise on behalf of.
I don't know.
I think it would be a good like activity for us to do, a good way to engage the community.
Okay, next, within discussions, if you put a link in it, you do have to hyperlink it. It will not auto hyperlink, so you have to click the button at the bottom and insert a link.
That's my one.
I think yours was hyperlink, just popped up as like it wasn't available or something weird. Because I think you did hyperlink it like the right way. So when you're posting, it seems obvious, but there's a title and there's a body. So you can make the title like a one word or whatever, something to draw people's attention, and then post it. Yes.
I had it all caps.
Oh, it's like screaming at
I put it.
Yeah.
Reminder if you want to join the session.
Yeah.
And then I got my own email.
Mm-hmm.
And you're
like all caps with like
yeah.
I was like,
so now you know that's how it goes.
Okay.
And like it's kind of like when people write in the subject of an email, the whole email. So if it's one sentence, you can do that. So like if you look at this post, not to call anyone out, Dr. Sean Barker posted this one that is pretty much just the whole thing is written in the title. So like if it's something short, like, you know, and then you have a link like this, okay, this one a little long for my taste, but that's okay. We're all learning how to use the platform. That's what it's about. So just keep that in mind when you're posting things, that you have to link things. So like here, this isn't linked, like the farmpixie.com. So if you have to like highlight it and actually link it so that people can click on it more easily, just for the sake of like convenience for people, and people are more likely to actually go to it if they can click on it. Okay, so you know how to hyperlink. Do you know how to comment on a post? This does get a little bit weird on this platform, because if there's no comments already, it looks a little bit odd. So like if I'm on the food production working group page and we have this thing, so there's no comments, so I have to click on it, and then at the bottom, like, doesn't look like anything can happen, but at the very, very bottom, it says, what would you like to say? And that's where you can type in your comment. So if there's not a comment already, it's kind of weird. So to practice, I would love if you guys went on this page, on your working group page, and just left a comment on anything you want. So just go in, leave a comment on something, and that will show me that you know how to comment.
Under discussions?
Under
feed.
Under the food production working group feed. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. It's saying, can't load feed.
Maybe like a Wi-Fi.
I'm like, that's the thing. I don't have one.
Well, there should be stuff. So we basically there was already like a food production group, and we just made it working.
Yeah, I have one. I know you brought that. I just wanted to ask. I know
it's also like
student gardening and food production.
Yes. Yeah, and that's the one that I'm not in, so I don't actually know what that one is all about, because you have to like apply to get in, and I don't even know who administers it.
That's funny that you can't see like that stuff.
Right. I'm sure Monica can, because she's like the ultra high level, but not me. So I click on it, I still have to like apply. I mean, I'm sure whoever could approve me, but I'm not sure. So some of them are older than others, but we decided just to make this be like where they live. So if people were already part of this group, so that's why the group has 79 members, because that many people were interested in food production when it was just the food production group. And like economic development has 51 people, food access has 74. Like, we didn't want to disengage people who are already interested in those topics. Okay. So have you guys commented on a post? Awesome. Okay, I see your post. I see yours, Georgia. D did one. Good job. It's like, I know Kenny knows how to do stuff. He's on here all the time.
I just replied to Anna.
Yeah, I saw yours. Yeah, because I have it as like not new posts. I have it on latest. When you comment, it brings it up to the top. So I see yours too. Awesome. Okay, so you guys know how to comment. Okay, you can also tag people when you're posting or in a comment by using the @ feature. So like if I want to come down here and reply, I can put, literally at, oops, okay, I'm clicking sideways, so I'm apparently not doing something. Totally lost it.
Bug that I've been able to catch among them, but one that's happening right now is I can't, when I click on read more for a post, that's a lot of words, like it doesn't actually.
Mine has been like that too.
You
I'm
have
like,
to click on this so that it opens a new thing.
Mine has also been doing that. So bear with us. Thank you. I also, been having that issue. It's like if I click around read more, it opens, but if I actually click the button, it doesn't. So using the @ and then typing somebody's name, it'll notify them if they have that notification on, which I think it auto like puts that on you. So just be aware that you can do that. And like I did that in our economic development group, people had mentioned, so they're looking for another member.
Yeah.
So like I tagged people who were potentially interested in it in the comments. So hopefully they will see that. So it's valuable that way, or like if you want to, like in this post as well, Amanda mentioned to reach out to Nicole Doobie and Elizabeth Roman. So she tagged them in the post so that people could easily message them from there. Okay. Tag someone. Yeah, access the membership directory. So each page has their own membership directory, but so does the main page. So next to feed, there's a button called members. You can click on that and see everyone who's in this group. You can click on them and see, so like if I click on Dahlia here, it shows us her profile. It shows us everything that she's put when she joined the platform. She has badges from going to these different summits last year.
Yeah, what are all the like, are there badges that we can like earn or something? Like, what are those?
Yeah, so we used them last year for people basically just for going to the summits, or like if they came, especially to the digital tools one, we gave them like the award, which was basically actually going through this checklist that we're doing today. So maybe we can give you guys a digital tools badge.
Well, I was more so, I thought I saw something about the partner points.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was tied to it, or is
Not
that
so
something
much,
that?
yeah. Partner points are like totally separate, I guess.
Would you be able to maybe cover that at some point today?
Yeah, I think so. It's like we have 45 minutes, so we should be. And you guys are pretty, it seems like you have some goals already, so like your priority areas shouldn't take too long. But Monica did put a pretty detailed thing about it on the platform as well, so we'll look at that. So when you do this, you can also direct message people. So if you see someone and you want to message them, you can hit this little button and it'll do like DMs with them, or down at on the left, if you want to talk with someone, like you can click, you can put the little plus button and then click through whoever you want to talk to. You can do a group chat on here. You just have to select more people. And so it'll be a private message that you can do here if like you can't get to their email or something, but usually it will also send them an email. So that's an easy way to connect with people. Okay, you know how to make a poll. We did talk about these: opportunity, recommendation. Okay, do you know how to find an event? So this tab, like I said, has events as well. So across the top, it has feed, members, events, resources. The events list them like upcoming. You can also look at past events by clicking the little upcoming button, and you can look at past if you want to see something. So like, oh no, I missed this thing, or you're like, when was that? You can look back that way. And like I mentioned before, you can click the little calendar to see it in this view instead of the other view. Okay, and when you click on an event and you're going to go, you can RSVP on here and say going. You can say maybe or not going. So when you click going, it should go to your personal calendar. And so it'll show us down here. Look at that. I RSVP Nicole, Kenny, Jess, and one other person. So I can click on this and see who said that they would come, and Mel, who's on here.
You know what was interesting on this one? When I said go, when I clicked going and like RSVP, this is for it didn't add the details with the Zoom meeting onto the
Did it add it a little bit? Like, did it add something else or did it not?
It
go
didn't
through?
add at all
I think
when I
there's like a-
RSVP'd, but
Okay.
I then had to, or actually I had to add it my own, but it's interesting because a lot of the, like any of the other events will go to my.
Gosh, maybe it's a specific setting on like the group, like versus the main page. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's turned on for the main page, not the group. But we can look at that. Okay, so when you RSVP, we do want you to like be accurate. So like if you end up not being able to make it to something, just say like I didn't come, like say not going or whatever. Go back and change it because you're going to be also using that for partner points, which we can talk about also later. But there's more to partner points than just RSVPing on the platform. So we also, what we're going to have the secretary do too with these, because you'll be making the events, is actually go through and correct the RSVPs so that like for this meeting, you can say like this person RSVP'd yes, didn't actually show up. So we actually have like an accurate count for those. Okay, so now to post an event, when you open the page, you go to events, or you can do it from the main thing and just click event. It'll bring you to this whole event page. So you have the name. I think that's clear. If you have a photo, it is a weirdly long like bar for photos. But it helps people know what the heck it is. So if you have something you can put on there, that'd be great. If you don't use Canva, it's like a free graphic design tool that's pretty easy to use. And you can make something long. Like that's what I did for the working groups, like at the top, like I made a banner.
Does it tell you like what dimensions?
It should
figure out
somewhere.
if you press like F12.
Oh yeah. That's a good, I don't know. I was like, I just do long. I just make it long and then upload it and see if it works. So I actually uploaded already for all the working groups that like top banner so that you can just use that banner every time. And that's in the Google Drive. We'll talk about that. Okay, so when you post an event, you have your picture, you do the name, you want to enter your location, it actually will like populate the address. And then when it says video conferencing, it will okay, so it does let you paste like any link. So if you have like a Google Meet, you can post it on the event, but you just have to click video conferencing link. So it gives you an option for Zoom or paste a link. So if you have like something else, you can just paste the link that way. And like I said, make sure that the times and stuff are accurate because it will go to people's phones if they have that setting on. So just make sure everything's accurate on here when you first do it. Double check. Do your description, as much information as you can. And then if you wanted to like, I don't know if we really have done this at all, but like you can do a private event where you can only like invite specific members. But I actually have not done that. And then there's a checkbox that's automatically checked already, but you may want to uncheck it sometimes. It says invite all group members by email. So it'll send an email to everyone in the group when you make this event that this event is there. So I would say use discretion, treat people the way you want to be treated. If you don't want to get an email every time there's a webinar about anything, don't send an email for webinar. But if it's something like these meetings, that would be valuable for people to have. So just kind of think about it. Don't be blowing up people's emails. Just be considerate. And then you can change, like it'll send an auto subject. Like you can make it either just say event name invitation, don't miss out event name. You can select these here. It's just a nice tool to have. But yeah, just be considerate when you're inviting everyone by email. And then you can also save it as a draft if you don't want to, if you're making it or like need to go check something, you can upload files to it. You can put in like video. You can pretty much do anything you can with the post to an event. And then once you have an event, you can actually do more. So like here I have this event for today. I can send a reminder to people. So it'll say remind members who haven't RSVP'd yet about your event. So that will like send them a notification that they haven't RSVP'd to this event. So I'm not gonna do that right now because it's happening.
Where's can you show me again where you clicked for send the reminder?
It's just right. So this is the event, and then I said like I clicked on it, and so down here because I'm managing it, it says send a reminder. And you can also go to like these ones, see who's going, who's not going. I think there's a way to like specifically email them. Let me see. So I'm gonna hit manage event, which will let me, okay. Yeah, so you can say when you hit manage event, edit the details, send a reminder, manage the RSVP list, which here I can see the going people if I want to email everyone who's going and say like, hey guys, like remember to bring something. Or if I want to look at the might go people and send them an email blast and say, please make a choice, like we're buying food or whatever reason you want to reach out to people.
So it's under manage event?
Yes, so under manage event, and then this top, like when you click on it, it gives you little things. So you say manage RSVP list. And so this is where I could also change it. So like right now on our might go, we have Monica. She's not on here, so I can change her to decline if I want to. And it'll move her like off the list. So you can email people, and you can even email people like if you want to see who viewed it, like all these people saw the event but didn't RSVP. So I can email them. There's just different ways that you can email people and find their groups, and it'll let you do it right here in the platform. Okay, so that's event management. Any questions about this part? This is pretty important for us. Okay, cool. Post an event, send event notifications, add files and folders. Okay, so we also have in all of our groups a resources tab where we can put documents. You can put, there's a set for quick links and then folders. So we have our Google Drive, which is more for living documents. So we're still working on them because on here, once it's uploaded, like you can't do anything else with it. So like this would mainly be for like PDFs, or if there's like an article that's really important, you think everyone should look at, and it's not, instead of just posting it, you can also add it as like a resource and say, oh, check this out in our resources tab. So like in our food access, in their resources, I included a quick link to the meeting recordings. So I'll do that when we're done here. We're just gonna post them all on our YouTube in like a playlist. So we'll have like the links to the meeting recordings, and then I also have a link to the meeting notes. So like I uploaded these from their group, and it'll open it. I'm clicking it 3 ways. And you can download it. So you have to hit this, it'll tell me how many people downloaded it. Have to like hit it, and it'll open it. Yeah, it's like, it's harder because I'm also like sideways. And then you can hit download in the corner. So you can just view it or you can download it. But this is a place for you guys to keep basically anything that you think is valuable to people that is not like a work in progress or like being edited. So you can utilize your resources that way. Same thing like with the links, like you can always put links in there too. You can select certain resources to be featured. So like if you want to have a page that just lists like your working group definition, your priority areas, and like your goals or something, you could have that as a featured resource. Like, what's our working group all about? You could do something like that. Okay. Those are our resources. And do you have the app downloaded and are you signed in? So I know you have the app, George. I was like, you have the app, you have the app. Okay, great.
Also, I just want to point out, I managed to get into my own account.
Okay.
Because I'm have my email.
Okay.
Like, what email did I have for that? Apparently,
You got it.
I could have used. I just have like 7+ emails.
Okay, so we gotta get back to it.
So
okay, so you deleted one. Okay, gotcha. No problem. Okay, so with that, it would be great before the next meeting, and that it would be great. This is your homework. Find a post on since this page was active previously, find a post or an event or something that would be relevant to your working group that you want to share with the group next meeting. So if it was like, oh, this was a cool event, like I wish I could have gone, or maybe we should look out for next year. Just find something to bring to the group next meeting. So just spend a couple minutes.
Something like to post on to Mobilize, or something that's already on there.
Something that's already been there. If you want, you should definitely post something if it's relevant, but don't just post just because you like think you have to.
This is my required post.
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that, but that happens in the time. But like, so if you look through, of course, now mine's not loading. You can just look through and find something and be like, oh, like this event happened last year that was hosted by, I don't know, like this one that Monica posted is the Southwest Florida Small Farmers Network Spring Meeting. Be like, oh, there was a meeting with this group. Maybe we should look to see if there's another one. Or like someone posted this article and here's what I got from it. Just something to show me that you spent some time clicking through the platform and know that you know how to use it. Okay, so back to our agenda. That's it for the platform. Great job. Okay, all your profiles are set up. Okay, so when it comes to the Google folders, on the Google Drive, we have had some like issues with access. So there's like weird ways that like, so if we put a shortcut in it, you can't access it, but if it's, so we tried to give everyone access to like this whole folder. So you should have access to this. It is also beneficial if you bookmark it or star it. So if you see like up here, you can click this little drop down and you can organize it and add it to starred. So like when you're over here, you can just hit starred. That's an easy way to find it. I don't know how you guys normally find your Google stuff. You can also like
Hey, Savannah,
yes.
you're not screen sharing anymore.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Hold on.
Sorry.
Thank you. Okay. Now you can see it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, great. So when you're here, you should have access to this entire folder. And there are, so this thing, see how this is like a shortcut? I think you might not have access to this specific folder, even though it's in here. We kind of thought if we moved it in the folder, it would give you access to it. So we have to like go through and manually add you all to everything. But anyway, so to star things, when you go up and you see like the title up here, you can click it, and then you want to say organize, and you can add a shortcut or add it to your starred, and your starred will appear over here. So that makes life easy, I think, is just go put in your starred so that you always know where to get to it. And you should have access to all 3 working groups. So if you want to see like, oh, what did they do at their last meeting? Or I wonder what they talked about, you can check that out. This is where we have all of your headshots. I did make you folders so that we wouldn't have to scroll through everyone's pictures. And there's like a large version and a small version of it because the large one was too big for the platform. And it's not even like the original size photo. So we have that. And in your group, we have things that are already, so like this meeting agendas is where, so like this PDF is the agenda that I made. So I've made it a PDF so that it would stay as the agenda. And then, so like I've been taking notes on this other one, but then we have this general agenda template. What does this mean?
Turn on the sticky keys. That was my.
Oh, okay. I thought it was my microphone. I was like, oh no, what happened? I was like, something is running out of battery. Oh no. Oh, okay, you're good. So things like this general agenda template are locked because we don't want you to edit this one. And it gives you instructions in the top. So like go to file, make a copy so that you still have Homegrown Hillsborough, like,
Well, it's locked. It sure is locked. I can't even see it though.
what?
Yeah, no, and I'll show you like.
Oh, the general agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's locked too.
Okay.
You're saying in Drive.
Yes, in the Drive.
Yeah, I've had to keep requesting access.
Okay.
And I think
Oh, I see. It's because it's moved.
Right
That's
she's
why.
getting annoyed with me.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
feel
okay.
like.
Let me.
Maybe I'll like try to put that every day, but like
I think it's because it's a
it's
shortcut.
fine. Like or like I have to.
Yeah, so she's the
request it
owner.
with
Yeah.
her.
So let
And
me
like
share it with all of
I
you.
saw her like just I feel like that like, she just gave up and was like just access everything. Here's
Which email?
my
to
wallet,
use?
here's everything.
Stop asking.
LMRF.
I know, and I was sitting there like, yeah, I know. Sorry.
What is it? 25.
1L.
I tried to get rid of the other one. It didn't let me. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Okay, and then Georgia. Let me give everyone else while I'm at it. Oh, well. Okay. Okay, so you guys should all have the general agenda template now. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Okay. So now you have that. That should be fixed. But if there's anything that's grayed out like that, it's better if you don't want to like email Monica or send her notification, just text me or email me and I can change the access because I have access to all the things. But we're still, we're trying to figure out which thing. We don't know sometimes like which ones you guys have access to. So like I don't know where this where the actual folder is. I'd have to go find it. And so we're trying to make it so we put this like general template in everyone's folder so that if we edit it, it stays the same on everyone's. That's why we didn't want to make like one in your folder, one in your folder. So that's why they're all like shortcuts like that, because we want it to all be the same if we update it. So something else that's useful if you don't like use Google Chrome a lot, if you have different email addresses, if you click over here and have like a profile, it gives you, it'll show, you can click on your profile that'll keep all your passwords and stuff logged in. So like this is my work profile. So when I'm on here, it's all logged into my Willowdale City stuff, and that makes it easier. So I'm always on the right one. But if I click on like my personal one, it'll be logged into my personal Gmail, which has no access to any of these things. So this is an easy way to keep your stuff organized, is to use like the profiles on Google Chrome. Would recommend, so that you're not like in a different email and then you're like, I can't access this. And it's like, well, you're in the wrong email.
I have a personal gripe with Chrome, so I can't use
Okay,
it.
so that's fine. But however you, as long as you know which email you're on that has access, that is good. Okay, I'm gonna close this one and go back to our agenda. Okay, any questions about Google Drive? You feel like you just remember to put things in there if you want everyone to see it. Because if it's just on your Google Drive, like we can't see it. You have to, it has to be in the folder. So keep everything in the folder so that we know what's going on. And like I said, there should be a copy of things in the folder as well as on the platform if it's like a permanent document. So like once we finish the notes, like I'll do the notes for this meeting. But like in the future, when you do them, you'll have a note, you'll have it here, but then you'll also have like a PDF version on the platform. Does that make sense? So like we'll have one here, but everything should also, like everything that's not editing should be on the partner platform. And to make your life easier, Zoom does like an auto summary of everything. So you don't have to like type notes the whole time. I'm sorry if you've been doing that, actually. Okay, you're good. Okay, good. I was like, I've told everyone like you don't have to take notes. It's actually a really nice, like it'll do a quick summary and then it'll give you like a more detailed one. So then you can just go through and like make sure that it doesn't have, like sometimes the words get mixed up, you know, like if people aren't enunciating perfectly, it'll say like the wrong word. So like you just kind of read through it and then we can put it up and say like, this is an auto summary from Zoom, just so that people know that you're not just writing it like that. But like I'll put up these ones, but after that, it'll make you like, we just don't want you spending, you know, hours writing notes for meetings that are literally recorded also. So like people can watch them, and Zoom gives us a really nice summary. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little time to do your priority areas. I want to tell you that we have a grant you have to basically spend the money before October 1st because that's the end of our fiscal year. So each working group is getting $4,000 to give to the community. So we're not going to do it until you've finalized your goals, which we're thinking like by the June meeting, it should be finalized. So then the next couple meetings, you can either have people come talk to you guys about, you know, what they want to do with the money. You can like be part of the application, could be that they need to present to the working group, or.
So it's us developing an opportunity for the community to essentially compete for the $4,000.
So yes, but they don't have to use all, like, it's not like you have to use all $4,000. You could say like, ask us how much, or like, tell us how much you want. And so the treasurer's job would be to make sure that you're not giving out more money than you have. But you could say like, oh, this group needs 500, this group needs 1,500. We still have, you know, this much left. We still have 2,000 left. So it's not like, doesn't have to be given out in a lump sum, but once you figure out your goals, we're pretty much like, the application will say like, how does your project have to do with these goals? So like, you don't have to say like, we're looking for exactly this thing, but the way that they are like asking for it should apply to your goals. So each working group has $4,000. We're thinking kind of like, it's like a community building grant. So like something like if they're doing like a festival or they need like some starter money to do something, because it's only $4,000 and we don't expect, I mean,
well,
if
can we just say like,
This is what I'm like, I feel like it could get a little sticky if, I mean, because if you open the door to say, oh, how much do you need? Like, we're all going to be like, all of it. But if we say we have 8 $500 grants that we would like to extend to the community, you know, can we like break it up like that to where like there's $500, we're awarding 8 $500 grants across these focus areas.
I think
Yeah.
that would,
You know, like, I feel like that would be, it's even, because then what if to me, I think it would also create like a little bit of like animosity if someone's like, oh, well, I needed 1,500, but you gave it to partner company instead. So I feel like,
I also like that idea.
yeah, it's like, so when we were talking about it in some of the other groups, it was more like we don't want people taking more than they need. Like, we don't want I mean, I'm sure anyone could figure out a way to spend $4,000. But like, we just don't want people saying, like, just being like, oh, well, I guess we'll give the rest to this, or I guess we'll buy something we don't actually need. But if that's how you guys want to do it and you want to split it up that way, I think that would be okay.
I mean, we would be able to look at the applications.
Yeah,
and
of course.
See like, oh yeah, that costs $500, or
Right.
like,
Yeah, and so like they'll have
No,
to submit a budget
you know.
and stuff and tell you what they're gonna do with it. So
okay.
knowing this information, you will have $4,000 and it will need to be like spent by the end of September. It doesn't have to be like if they have an event in October or November, that's fine. But like we need to spend it before the end of the fiscal year. So like pay everything in advance, basically.
Does that grant have restrictions on who, like, are we only allowed to award that money to nonprofits, or like?
I don't think so currently. I think it's more, so to talk about like the partner points, that's gonna play into it, as far as like that gives you a leg up if you have more partner points. So looking at Monica's post on the platform, partner points are points that you earn, by basically being engaged with the network. So there's like a little rubric on the platform. She also made a video about it, and there's a companion document that tells you that like how you would get points awarded. So like being on the platform, you get a point. Posting an event, you get a point for posting an event. Attending an event that was posted, you get a point for that. But you have to like report it back to us. So it tells you you must complete this form to notify us of your attendance. So we're not just like, you still can't, you can still do it. Like we just launched this. So like anything that happened in 2025, you can apply for partner points now.
I have a question about that, Savannah.
Yes.
My question is because like being a part of this working group, I'm representing D, right? D's in the working. However, like Mel attends stuff on behalf of our organization.
Right.
So the points, how would that work? Are the points need to be like when she does it, should be under 813 and I do it under me? How does that work?
So when we talked about, actually, I brought this up specifically because I knew that Mel did all your posting and I knew that you guys, so basically we're saying the person in your organization who has like the highest number of points, or like will like weight the number of points, something like that, where like because she represents 813, like her points will still go towards the application for 813, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't have to be, if you yourself are applying as like a representative for 813, her points are still valuable to you. Does that make sense? Like I think I wrote it somewhere, but basically like her points will still count towards 813, even if like you, D, are doing the application, as long as it's on behalf of 813, it's okay. Because I did ask about this.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry. And we also like are kind of trying to figure out how to do like conflict of interest stuff for people. So like if you want to apply for something for the Sustainable Living Project, like we probably just not have you vote on something, you know? Because you're participating in this group, like we do still want you to have access to our money, you know? And for like the future grants next year, the next fiscal year, we're trying to get like outside reviewers from USF to like look at the applications, so that it's fair to everyone. But because we do want to reward people for participating, so it's just what the partner points are about. So, and if you like organize an HH event, you get a point per hour dedicated to organizing, which is a maximum of 10. But Monica has this all written out really nicely, to basically tell you how they work, and so they will play a factor in people applying for these grants. Okay, so I guess that's up to you guys how you want to distribute it. If you want to do like say that there's this many $500 ones, but you might actually get applications and see that like no one can do very much with $500. Maybe it should be $1,000, or, and that could be determined like after you get applications.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean, like why you don't want people to be like, well, it's not fair, they got this and I got this, but like,
To me, I'm more like, not necessarily that $500 is the number we land on, but
Right.
I feel like it needs to be like an even number of.
let's split evenly.
Yeah,
Or
maybe
even
it's
you could-
two, you know, two
Right,
$2,000
whether
or
it's
one.
2, 4, 5, whatever, but it's the same amount
Amount
to each organization. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because anyone who is going to be applying as a nonprofit could use $4,000 in, you know. or
It also makes
$5,000.
it hard, like I know when I apply for stuff, if it's open-ended like that,
Mhm.
it just makes it harder to apply, right? So like,
Yeah, on the user.
am I trying to apply for
All of
a
them?
project that will do, $4,000, or am I trying to apply for 500? And those are two very different
Yeah, different amounts.
application, right? Like, and so I see what you're saying. It is good to know ahead of time. I think also though I have applied for grants too, where they have said like, okay, thanks for this. We're going to give you actually like 75% of it, as opposed to you ask for 10,000, but we're actually going to give you 750.
Well, I think
You know.
it's helpful too for like, let's say a nonprofit's hosting like I think of the community, coalition of community gardens, and they do events at Eckerd all the time. I'm sure they need catering or, like $500 could go toward. I think it's easier for nonprofits or directors to plan, for their event or upcoming project or whatever, if they could just say, oh, we'll get, this is an opportunity we could pay for catering. We don't have to worry about that. I think it just is helpful. It's like more helpful.
That's a great point, because like I often can't provide like catering or things like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Along
and you're
those
like,
lines.
oh, we could use that. That would be a great
Yeah.
thing to use that for this.
That is good feedback. So I'll let you guys talk about your 2 to 5 priority areas for the next. We have about 15 minutes left, and we'll stop at maybe like 55 so that we can do our like last piece. Priority areas are like not quite your goals. Like your goals are going to be more specific than this, but basically just like what you want to focus on. So if it's 2 broad priority areas or 5 more specific ones, it's up to you guys how you want to determine your priority, like how many you want to do. Usually shakes out around between 2 and 5. So up to you. And these are not like super specific goals. It's like exactly it sounds like priority area. So
I like what we came up with on that
thing,
which is, do you want to read it for D and?
Yeah, so we have written down policy, marketing, infrastructure, labor pool, funding, and distribution. I think we could probably.
We might be able to put, I don't know if this would fall under one of those, but like value added products. I don't know if that's.
What do you mean by that? Like, I think it could probably fall under all of them, right? Like, so how do we reduce barriers to marketing those? How do we reduce barriers to funding those initiatives, distribution, all of those things?
Yeah, you're right.
So I think, and we can write in there, like, I feel like that just encompasses revenue streams.
Just say profitability.
So, yeah, I think maybe we can take those points and begin to either narrow them down or make an argument for all of them. So I can name them again. If, is there anyone screen sharing that wants to like put them? Thank you, that'd be awesome. So policy, marketing, infrastructure, labor, funding, distribution, revenue streams, profitability.
So with policy, we are not like a policy making group. I don't know if I'm gonna explain this the right way, because we're Hillsborough County, like, funded, we can't, I don't know what our exact rules around what we can actually do for policy, because we are not food policy council.
So I would, what I envision for policy, because obviously that'd be a conflict of interest probably in some area, what I envision our work could do, or our efforts could be within the policy bucket would be to work with like Tampa Bay Regional Resiliency Council that does focus directly on policy. So like we might as part of the food production working group, we might sit in on their, because they do have a resilient and sustainable food system. You know, so we might sit in on those meetings and then maybe take that information back to the platform and say, here are some of the areas like, you know, of advocacy that are opportunities that might be available for people to contribute. So I don't
think we can provide any funding for policy change, if that makes sense. So like someone can't like apply to be like, I'm advocating to change this policy. I don't think, I could be wrong, that we can provide funding for that because of being funded by.
Well, our working group definition is we're like, it's just that we're working to
improve
and address challenges.
No, I thought when I see the word policy, sorry.
No, go ahead.
When I see the word policy, when I think of what we're doing, I feel like it could be an opportunity to educate the people that are in that food production space on the policies, like, because we don't necessarily have the time to dissect those policies that affect us. So maybe making it more digestible or having that platform, that information available, or tool available for it to be easily utilized or accessed by the day-to-day food producer, I think is what I envision when I hear policy under our group.
Works.
I like that, but I like that, and that could go two ways in terms of education, because I don't think it could also be an opportunity for us to hear from the producers and to educate those in the community about what they're experiencing with policy. Like as an advocate for the producer.
Mm-hmm. So something like saying backyard chicken producers can't actually legally sell their eggs because of the limited liability poultry license.
Yeah, for instance, I could put a poll up on the platform and say, looking for producer input on selling eggs in from backyard coops. And then I take that poll and I go to a county commissioner meeting or something, and I say, I'm bringing to your attention some barriers that XYZ producers are experiencing.
Yeah, I think that's where it starts to get fuzzy, and I think
it is.
Yeah,
you could represent other feeding ground and do that, but you can't. I don't think again. Like you can go and be like, Homegrown Hillsborough wants you to know this. Like you could say, I'm part of this, and I listened to these meetings, and this is what I found.
Got it.
But I don't know if you could go as representing Homegrown Hillsborough, but you could go on as a personal citizen.
Sorry, hold on one second. Could I still make a poll in like a public poll? I mean, that's as everyone can still see it.
I don't think that would be an issue, but this is like a medical question.
Okay.
Because she's the county person.
I think that's where it's fuzzy. I think that there might be some specific actions along that policy line that fall under like, yes, you can use the platform to do it, but not as the working group, or you can gather information, but there's no money that can go towards it, or so I don't know, but
got it. You just have to be mindful when we're doing that. Making sure we're doing it correctly.
But I agree with Steve that after Savannah clarified, you said almost exactly like what I was thinking was that educational aspect of like,
totally, you can educate people on policies,
which is similar to like nonprofit rules, I think too, right? So like I I'm not a 501(c)(4), whatever it is, but I can't essentially advocate in any direction, but I can educate on policy.
What about the process? So for like the a producer, a lot of the newer backyard growers don't necessarily understand how to apply for the limited poultry license so that they can sell it. So being able to make it digestible.
I think that's not really advocacy. That would just be like lowering the barriers. So I think that's totally fine and part of education.
Same. So you want education. So your priority areas right now are listed as like policy, marketing, infrastructure, labor, funding, distribution, revenue streams, and profitability. So do you want to make education like one of your priority areas? Okay.
And the policy can be a sub area of education potentially, since we can't like advocate, and that's really where we're going to be
more clear cut too. If we ever get asked.
Like, no, we don't make policy, but we do provide education
right here
on policies. See section 4.
Wait, anything else to go under education? Do you want any of the other items to go under education?
Yeah, I think like marketing would go under that. Potentially, I think some of those things, right? We would have to decide, but I would assume as far as marketing goes, what we would be helping to do would mostly be education, unless it is like a grant. But overall, I think we're not going to be like doing marketing for people, right? We'd just be helping them to learn best practices or tips and tricks or.
There's a class of the ACC.
Right. So we're not, so I think anything that we're not doing directly would go under education, right? So we're not distributing, but we may help to educate on like how else you can distribute, or like
connecting distributors with producers.
I was gonna say distribution is actually kind of a not great example, because we could provide funding for distribution. We could connect, which is all different than just education, you know. But marketing and policy, I think, would go under education, and then I don't know. The rest of it, I think, has other action steps as well, besides just educating.
Infrastructure,
like that, we could provide funding for infrastructure.
We could create a co-op, an infrastructure co-op where people have shared infrastructure. I think there's different ways to. I mean, and we would also have to, which would probably be part of it, like soliciting feedback on what their gaps are in on-site infrastructure, right? Like maybe someone doesn't have washing stations or.
I think going back to like the focus areas, though, what of those do we want to be our focus areas? So I think to recap, I'm going to rewrite them for myself. So we have the education, which encompasses policy and marketing. Then we have infrastructure, labor, funding, distro, revenue streams, and profitability.
Is there a way that we could combine labor and funding together? I'm sorry, labor and infrastructure together?
Labor and infrastructure? I think so. I don't see why not. And that's kind of, let's, I don't know how we could do that, but I can see how they would go together.
Totally.
Okay.
Me too.
We do have to, we only have 5 minutes, but we can table this for our next one. One of our other groups didn't even get their priority areas. So like, it's okay.
Okay.
We can work on this more next meeting. But just to be respectful of everyone's time, we do still want to wrap up at 12 o'clock. So
I think if people do want to come to the table with some notes, it doesn't have to be like super in depth, but maybe
that could be a deliverable for next meeting.
Because I think we're all trying to think through it right now at the moment.
Right. And we'll spend a lot of our next couple meetings, like I said, our like final, we'll have your goals done by the end of the June meeting, so that's
Okay.
4 more hours.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we'll spend a lot of time on this, like, don't worry. But that is good to have people like come with a little more structured ideas for the next meeting. Okay, so something else we have, just to like give you a big heads up, in October, the Florida Organic Growers is going to have a symposium in Orlando. If anyone's interested in going, just if you want to throw it on your calendar, I'll probably end up going, maybe Monica or Dahlia, but if someone from one of the work groups wants to go, it's a ways out. We don't even know what time it's at. So just want to throw it out there, August 26th, and it'll be in Orlando. So we might go to like.
It's not in October?
No, it's August, sorry.
I thought on the platform it says October.
That's good too, actually.
Pretty sure it's 8/26. 8 is August.
8 is August.
Yeah, I'm like, I have it in my email somewhere.
It's under the events.
It might be a different.
I think it's on this one too. JK, it's not. It is maybe just a post.
Thing. So I don't think this one even has like a time yet.
Or maybe I just saw it on Instagram.
Yeah, because I have it for. Okay. So that's just the thing. We'll talk about it again.
Okay.
I'll bring it up. I just wanted to like throw it out there to get on your calendar early if you're interested in going. We don't even have like a agenda, I don't think, yet either. Okay, so we also need to do, we're doing these things called meeting ratings, where we want to know how you rated this meeting, 1 through 5. 1 being the worst and 5 being the best. And there's 4 different like categories. So let me, can you guys see my screen, D, like of the ratings? Is that on the right tab? Okay, great. So we're rating it on participation, which would mean like, did people participate? Ideally, if there were outside people where they all also list participating. What did we accomplish? So it's PALS, PELS. Achievement, what did we accomplish? Like, did we do stuff? Were people focused and mindful? Were people not paying attention? Yada, yada. And did we stick to our agenda and use time wisely? So basically, I'm just going to go around and say, participation, how do you rate it 1 through 5? And then I'll go down the list. And then achievement, how do we rate it? What did we accomplish?
Rating each person?
Each one of you is rating each section.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'll say like participation. Did people participate? Nicole, how would you rate it 1 through 5?
5.
All right. Georgia, how would you rate it?
6.
5. Sarah?
5.
Okay. Kenny or D, how would you rate?
5.
5. Kenny, how would you rate this meeting for participation?
For participation, 5.
All right. And then for achievement, like what did we accomplish? Did we accomplish things?
4. We tried, but we didn't get like our focus areas.
That's okay. That's right.
All 3.
3. All right. Kenny?
I'll say a 3.
3. D?
3, sorry.
That's okay. All right. And listening. Were people focused and mindful? Nicole?
Yeah.
1 through 5.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like they're all 1 through 5.
5.
Okay. Georgia?
Yeah, I don't think I can say that anybody wasn't.
Okay.
Really pinpoint
Yeah, I would
moments.
All right. Kenny?
5.
D?
Same.
All right. And scheduling. Did we stick to our agenda and use our time wisely?
No.
How would you
3.
3? Okay.
We screwed up on the getting into the building, everything.
That's okay. We
Oh, yeah, I'll give it a 3. I agree.
Okay. Okay. Kenny?
I see a 4. I think we were pretty close.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Kenny, how would you rate us?
Mr. Gill?
Yeah. All right. We're
Hello?
also this. Hey, can you hear us?
Anyway, yeah, sorry. I thought this thing is like, anyway, Yeah, I was late getting in. There was a little bit of trouble, and then I think we all just are trying to figure out how to manage this thing. So I'll say a 3 for this first one.
All right. No worries. And this is why we have this, is to basically figure out what things are working, what things aren't. If there's any additional comments about like the meeting, I can also add those in there. But besides that, we do need to, I think so. I think it is open.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys want to change your meeting time? Because the library opens at 10 o'clock, we found out today.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So
At least by
10:30.
30 minutes, 10 minutes, I think, 10:30, I think is perfect.
Yeah, 10:30 to
Does that
12:30.
work? Does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Works for me.
Great. Okay, that's easy enough. Yeah, I got here at 9:30 and was just like, oh, cool. I can't go inside yet. I was like, that explains why people are standing outside.
And where is the
It's literally like one street over.
Oh.
But it's kind of a small meeting spot. Like if more people besides the working group were to come, we could use like the bigger like church room, in theory. If we wanted to. Like if this doesn't work out or if you guys want to go somewhere else. Our other groups are meeting at Feeding Tampa Bay, which is really nice, big classrooms. It's far, yeah. And the ECC, which is in Ybor, which also is like a nice space. But this is also fine. Like if you guys like it here, I like this classroom.
I feel like we'd have more control over like a space at the well than we would getting this
So
book,
the
but
only-
I don't know how hard it was.
The only thing at the well is the conference room is like smaller than this and basically has like this size table with like we can fit 6 people in there and like that's it. Not even it's close with 6, but there is like a bigger like church space, which also would be okay. I just have to like make sure that we're allowed to be in there. That nothing else is going on because it is like a
Yeah,
church, but like
where.
yeah, I'm like this is fine. I was right here, but like if something goes wrong, or like the library's closed one day, like we can just pop over there. Yeah.
Some people live really far away, like you, like change it up so that
Mhm.
it's not every meeting is.
So we do want them to be consistent, like
Okay.
somewhere so that people know where to go, like for the meeting, you know what I mean? So like,
We can look
it
at,
makes, yeah, if you want to go somewhere
for
else.
the next one, but we could like look into
Yeah.
some.
If you wanna go, like,
somewhere
Jimmy B.
else
Keel or
while
something,
we're
like, a
early
little-
on.
Yeah.
We can look at
I
like
think there was another, was
the
there
Keel
another?
Library.
Yeah, that one's on Bears, yeah, like that's probably a little closer
So,
to,
yeah, I would say we should
Maybe let's look at that.
like
one.
work on that a little bit sooner rather than
Between now
later.
and
but
then.
that's
I'm like,
not-
yeah, you need to know like before next month.
Yeah, yeah.
They've got really big.
Yeah, let's
I
try
just
that one
always
maybe.
thought this library was like had all the stuff like the Keel Library. but
I
that's
thought, I
not.
think I thought this one was that one.
Okay.
And then when I got here, I was like, I don't think,
This is, yeah, you're
oh,
not,
we were, I know. I was like,
Yeah.
but
okay, so,
change it to that one. then.
okay, and we can look if they open at 10, or if they open at 9, we can go there at 10, we can go back to 10, up to you guys.
I think they
Um,
also open it.
They also open at 10,
For
okay.
today at least, I didn't look at it for every week, but it's probably the same.
Yeah, I would think so, but yeah, as long as consistently, we want to find a recurring location, but like sometimes like one of the working groups using ECC, but like in October, it's not available there, so like we would just have to like a bigger blast to be like new, like different location today, but we just want it to be consistent so that people can show up consistently. But otherwise, I think that we got everything on the agenda, so if anyone needs to go, like you're not stuck on here anymore. I'm gonna stop recording the meeting. However I do that. And
Oh, one more thing. Are we still recording?
yes, yeah.
Okay, so we have the Telegram, but we also have our group chat. Do we want to, or we have the Telegram group chat. Do we want to move that over to the platform? Because that is kind of like what was requested by Homegrown.
I think what she said before was that it was just, well, I'll let you speak.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's if you want to keep it for like personal, like chatting, like I said, like stuff that doesn't need to be on the platform, like, okay, like does Jimmy B. Kill Library work for everyone? That's
Got
fine.
you.
But like,
Okay.
or if
Yeah,
you're checking in,
Let's
yeah.
keep it there.
but like if you're
Yes, but
posting, yeah, if there's like grants and stuff, like share it on the platform, not. in the
Okay,
team.
so anything that doesn't need to be public.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I misunderstood.
Is there a way, and this is just me, I apologize. Is there a way for that personal chat that we have on Telegram to be moved to like a regular text message? Because having an app for that, just for that, is kind of,
That's kind of why I wanted to also move it
Sure.
maybe to mobilize, is to get rid of an app.
And like you guys
For
can,
me.
and you can do a group chat on there that's private.
Right,
So like
that's,
you can do
that's,
that if you want to
that's
do
what I
that
was
way.
thinking. Plus,
Okay,
I
gotcha,
thought
yeah.
also that's what you had.
I
thought
just want
that's
to make
what
sure I'm
you
getting
had.
notifications.
Yeah.
I sometimes do not get.
It stopped doing it on the phone for me. So
Yeah,
once
that's
you're
what I
on
was-
the phone, you have
I
to
think
tap
that was
on
Well, I
the
think I
name.
turned them off on my phone because
Well,
at one point.
Mine are on, and they still won't give them to me, so there's something wrong with the app.
Well,
that it
then
won't
maybe
work
we
for me.
just do a group chat, a group message on our phones.
That could work, but if not everyone has like the same OS, like Android, Apple, I know
Yeah.
that group chats with those different types of phones can get really wonky.
And we
That's
had
what I
also discussed with Telegram the encryption, right, as well. So, do we want to? Okay, so then I propose that we like try something on the mobilize, and then go from there. Thoughts?
Sure.
Do we want to vote?
Agreed.
Okay, Kenny, do you care?
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so I'm gonna open
I'm
that up
already
right
on
now.
Telegram, so
It
I
doesn't
use
matter
all
to you.
the time. I know other people don't. And mobilize is a little wonky, but we can work it out if that's where we want to go. I don't care.
Okay,
I don't really care either, as long as I'm getting messages. We'll figure it out if we don't.
You can try
One of you
moving
guys
it and
can
see if it's
text
normal,
us.
yeah.
Then did you do that?
Just most importantly, the stuff that is like valuable to everyone goes into the group. And like if you need, like, so I think we're gonna make a private group for co-chairs to like specifically, like, so I don't have to email blast you every time. It's like, we need someone to go represent Homegrown Hillsborough this thing.
Yeah,
Do that.
actually, I'm glad you brought that up because whenever we were in our orientation, I know that Monica, and maybe you too, had routed off a few different opportunities, to speak on behalf of Homegrown Hillsborough or, at USF or wherever they were. And I searched high and low on the platform to try to figure out who I would even contact. And I was thinking, what did she look like at the orientation to try to figure out who it was. So that, remember when we were at orientation and Monica's like, oh, there's opportunities coming up this week where, we're looking for a panel of speakers.
Yeah.
Or like, we're doing a fireside chat on this topic at USF and we need someone to represent whatever. And then what I was saying is walking away from that orientation, I was like, who do I get in contact with? And I couldn't figure it out.
Well, that's up, like, you can always just ask us. Like, if it's not on there, you can ask us.
Yeah.
The one that the panel one was like, it was like the next week was like, so that was why we didn't have that on the platform because it was like it wasn't for people.
Yeah, it's like a
That
formal,
makes sense.
yeah.
It was actually for students. So like those people weren't on the platform. So that's why it wasn't anywhere on there. And because it was really short notice, we didn't want to like call for speakers on the platform.
Yeah, and then the other thing so that would be cool to do that, but then also the other thing that you had mentioned on our one-on-one call is that you were going to send out a meeting invite for our monthly co-chair check-ins that Dee and I would attend together rather than separately.
Yes. Do you have like a day? I am gonna go ahead and send everything. So that's
Sorry.
excessively long.